Today we're going to be reacting to a video titled 66 Broke and Burnt Out, My Wake Up Call. And this video comes by way of a content creator named Douglas underscore start fresh. So without further ado, let's understand his predicament and let's see how he got here, shall we?
How the heck did I make it to 66 years old and I'm still this broke? I'm Doug, Army vet and grandpa, and at my age I'm still working 10, 12-hour days just to keep the lights on. And retirement plan? Well, non-existent. If you're over 50 and this hits close to home, stick around. For years I just kept my head down, working construction, delivery, rideshare, whatever it took to pay the bills. I didn't complain, I just worked. But last summer, it all caught up to me. My body was breaking down. I was driving all day just to keep afloat. Bills were piling up and no plan for the future. Just survival mode every single day. Then came the real gut punch. The love of my life, the one I spent years trying to win.
So guys, before we continue on, I just want to address something because I actually did a reaction video for a video of a woman who was 57 and broke. And as you can see here, Douglas has 10 years on her. And she actually left her corporate job, which, of course, we can read between the lines and we know she wasn't doing hard labor. And it looks like here, Doug has done just about every odd job under the sun. And not only has he kept going, he's still going up to this point. So I just say that to say, you know, between men and women, we are built different as far as what we can handle. Because you can even still see his attitude. He's still just saying he's going to do whatever he's got to do. He's really just trying to make this a teachable moment from what it seems like. But at the same time, he did mention now his body is deteriorating, which would make sense. He's doing hard labor, right? But if you guys remember my video of the 47 or 57-year-old lady, she was working a corporate job and she decided to leave to pursue her dream, which was her acting career. She couldn't do both. But I am curious to see how he got to this point, right? How did he continue on this path and he didn't see it, see what he needed to do, right? That something needed to change until he got into this junction. I think he was about to go into that. Sounds like he was about to go into a story about his wife. So maybe that will give us some indication of why he didn't switch gears sooner than now.
The real gut punch. The love of my life, the one I spent years trying to win her heart, told me she loved me, but only as a best friend. That shattered me. When I looked in the mirror that night, I didn't just see a guy who lost somebody he loved. I saw a guy who spent decades surviving, but not actually living. I followed the rules, worked hard, stayed loyal, paid my bills. That's what we were taught, right? But somewhere along the line, the system changed. Wages stayed flat, costs exploded, and being loyal didn't mean security anymore. It just meant more hours and more stress. And the worst part is,
So he told the story about his wife here, which is pretty sad. I mean, wow. It's life though. You can use this as fuel, as energy. But sounds like this might have happened a little bit later in life where that's going to be a little bit harder, right? And that's a hard pill to swallow. That's tough, especially if you spent decades with a person. That that is rock bottom. So, and who knows? I don't know if she was getting alimony, if they had kids, maybe the kids are grown. But also, what I love that Douglas started addressing was just the fact that there was a mentality, right? That you could just work hard, work your 40 hours, 50 hours, and do this for 30 years, and then you'll be able to retire comfortably. But as he just mentioned, the world has changed. And it sounds like although the world kept spinning, he didn't adapt with the times. And he was still holding on to what was put into him from a different time. And this is how you end up, right? If you're not upskilling, Because we're always going to bring this back to the mindset and the mission. And it sounds like he was just kind of getting comfortable, which marriage could definitely do that to you. But it sounds like he didn't really keep growing. He was just sustaining and maintaining. And meanwhile, the world was evolving and he wasn't evolving. I would even argue he was probably devolving and degressing, right? Obviously, he's working labor jobs. His body is only, you know, getting more torn up, more beat down. So that would have probably been when he probably should have pivoted and maybe got into a field where he can maybe use a little bit more of his mind. But let's go ahead and finish up this video.
No one ever taught us how to build an income for ourselves. Not in school, not in the military, not anywhere. I wasn't just tired of being
And I want to address too this and give him some credit because now he is using his mind because obviously he's creating content, right? So he is now starting to get with the times. He's understanding you need to have diversified uh, means of making an income, and the internet is, of course, the low-hanging fruit, right? Especially YouTube. So he has a very relatable story as well. So I think he'll definitely take off if he stays consistent.
broke. I was tired of living a life that didn't feel like mine. That night, I stopped blaming myself and started asking better questions. What if I'm not too old? What if I didn't miss my shot? What if no one ever showed me the right path? That's when I started searching, not for some hype or some scheme, just for something real, something built for people like us. If you're over 50 and you've been grinding for decades with nothing to show for it, I get it. You're not alone. I've been there. In part 2, I'll share the moment that everything changed and how I found something that finally made sense. Like and subscribe so you don't miss it. And if this hit home, drop a comment. I read every single one. Peace out. Ever scroll through your phone hoping something, anything,
So shout out to Doug. So he's a veteran as well. So kudos to him. I'm not sure why that wasn't able to sustain him, right? I don't. He didn't really get too deep into his affairs, right? But I guess you guys let me know in the comment section if you want me to review his part two here, or you know what? F it. We'll just go ahead and watch it. Why not? I'm not gonna keep y'all hanging. Let's just go ahead and wrap up the story. Hopefully he doesn't try to R. Kelly us and do a part three and part four, right? In the closet. But let's go.
will show you a way out. But you're not really sure what you're looking for. If you caught part 1, you know I hit a breaking point. Mid-60s, no retirement, heartbreak, exhaustion. Just surviving every day with no plan, no peace, and no end in sight. Didn't know what I was looking for, but I knew
Hey, we gotta give Douglas some credit, man. He is getting with the times now, right? I don't think that's him. So he's mixing in his pictures. Look, I don't think what it was this. Is that him? I'm hoping that's AI. But shoot, at least Douglas is learning some AI. Let's give him credit for that. He's 66 using AI. And he's editing. So he has some time on his hands. He has been upping his skills.
exhaustion. Just surviving every day with no plan, no peace, and no end in sight. Didn't know what I was looking for, but I knew I couldn't keep living the same day on repeat. So I started scrolling, not for entertainment, for a lifeline. And I saw the usual stuff. Big promises, flashy cars, fake energy. I almost scrolled right past it all. But then something stopped my scroll. It was a guy who looked like me. No suit, no hype, just a guy saying, I'm building an income online. No pressure, no pitching, using a simple system that works. Now, I've seen business opportunities on social
Oh,
media before,
don't tell me Douglas is about to try to sell us something. Let me see.
and normally I would scroll right past. What made me stop scrolling? This wasn't one of those everyday run-of-the-mill posts. It was different. He wasn't selling, he was showing. What he showed made sense. He talked about simple systems, about digital tools that worked in the background, about real people, folks over 50, using these tools to build something steady. I didn't know what a funnel was, or an algorithm for that matter. I didn't have a big following or an email list. I wasn't some online expert. Just a guy.
So that explains Douglas done got him a mentor. He's trying to sell something now. Douglas done got him a mentor. They taught him how to pull on the heartstrings, and he's about to try to sell us a course. But so we'll leave it there. I'm just joking. I'm not gonna finish the video, but I'm just being facetious. But let's talk about that for a second. Like most people aren't really planning for retirement. Most people don't start planning for retirement until retirement starts creeping around the corner today. And this is a big thing, right? How many of us are living paycheck to paycheck, and a lot of us really living above our means? It sounds like he's just at zero. There's a lot of us hitting 65 and then have debt. So we have to address this, right? Because the last thing you want to do is work 30, 40 years and have nothing to show for it. And a lot of us are are clearing year after year with nothing to show for it. And how you do little things is going to be how you do everything. So if last year you worked the entire 365 days and you ended that year flat with zero or in the negative, then you can see how easy it will become to continue this habit, right? Because if you do it once and you've done it for 365 years, this is a habit. So what makes you think that it's just going to change when you decide for it to change? It's probably more likely that it will just get further reinforced. So we have to start becoming conscious of these things. And what it seemed like with Douglas, like he mentioned, he's been taught a lot of things, right? He was still holding on to those old ideals. And ultimately, he was drifting through life like a lot of us. And we're not thinking accurately. A lot of times we're drifting and we're just in a dream, an emotional dream. We just hope that the cavalry is going to show up and save us. And especially for my fellas, but pretty much for all of us, the cavalry is not on its way. You are your only cavalry. So you have to make a plan. And it doesn't have to be that difficult. Just bring in more than what you spend, what you expend. We don't have to overcomplicate this thing. Just don't live above your means. If you're living by yourself, why do you need a two-bedroom apartment? Why do you need the newest car off the lot if you can't afford it? Why? Why do we need all the subscriptions? So I want to use this as a case study of where you can end up because when you do ultimately get to that point, all you're going to have left is regret and you're going to wish that you did different. So I'll leave it there, guys. Shout out to Douglas. Wish him nothing but the best with his sales. But guys, like the video. I need that. Also, if you want to join the Limitless Legion, subscribe to the channel. And Cash App's linked in the description if you want to buy your boy an iced coffee with lavender syrup. And also join the Patreon where I do post exclusive self-improvement content. But until then, guys, I'll catch you in the next video.